Peter Bolesław Schmeichel MBE is a Danish retired professional footballer who played as a goalkeeper, and was voted the world's best goalkeeper in 1992 and 1993. He is best remembered for his most successful years at English club Manchester United, whom he captained to the 1999 UEFA Champions League to complete the treble, and for winning UEFA Euro 1992 with Denmark. Born in Gladsaxe, Copenhagen, Schmeichel was famous for his intimidating physique, tall and weighed about 105 kg during his playing days, and wore specially made size XXXL football shirts. Unusual for a goalkeeper, Schmeichel scored 11 goals during his career, including one for the national team. He is also the most capped player for the Denmark national team, with 129 games between 1987 and 2001. In addition to Euro 92, he played for his country at the 1998 FIFA World Cup and 3 additional European Championship tournaments. He captained the national team in 30 matches. He also represented Gladsaxe Hero, Hvidovre, Brøndby, Sporting Camp, Aston Villa and Manchester City in a career that lasted from 1981 until 2003. The IFFHS ranked Schmeichel among the top 10 keepers of the 20th century in 2000, and in 2001, Schmeichel won a public poll held by Reuters, when the majority of the 200,000 participants voted him as the best goalkeeper ever, ahead of Lev Yashin and Gordon Banks. In 2003, Schmeichel was inducted into the English Football Hall of Fame in recognition of his impact on the English game. In March 2004, he was named as one of the 125 greatest living footballers, at the FIFA 100 celebrations. His son, Kasper, is also a professional football goalkeeper. Biography: Early years, born in Zborgganrd parish, Gladsaxe, Denmark to a Polish father and a Danish mother, Peter Schmeichel held Polish citizenship until 1970 when he, his father, and his siblings became Danish citizens. He inherited his second name Bolesław Euro from his great-grandfather. He spent his early years growing up in the town of Budding, Copenhagen, and began his football career playing for a team in the adjacent suburb of Gladsaxe. His first match came on August 7, 1972 at the age of 8. After a 2.5-year unbeaten run, Schmeichel was approached by Hero, a team from a few divisions above Gladsaxe and with one of the largest youth football schemes in Denmark. Hero later merged with Gladsaxe to form Gladsaxe Hero BK, and Schmeichel was presented with the opportunity to play for the Zealand FA's junior representative team. Eventually graduating to the Gladsaxe Hero senior squad, Schmeichel met his first mentor in Sven Hansen, the first team coach at the club, and later to become his father-in-law. With Gladsaxe Hero already relegated from the Danish third division with 3 games to go, Hansen promoted Schmeichel and 6 others from the youth team for a match against Biography. The team lost 1-0, but Schmeichel received mentions in local newspapers for his personal performance. At the end of the season, Hansen explained to Schmeichel his plan for the future, which involved Schmeichel spending 2 more seasons with Gladsaxe Hero before moving on to Hvidovre, playing for the Danish national team, and eventually having a successful career abroad. Schmeichel admits that he had received an offer to play for B1903's youth team, but he turned it down as the club seemed a bit boring. The following season Gladsaxe Hero needed only to avoid defeat to Stabæk Bing to prevent relegation from the Danish National League. In the end, Schmeichel played one of the games of his career and Gladsaxe Hero won the match. At the end of the game, Hansen's daughter, Bent, ran onto the pitch and hugged Schmeichel. The two ended up going out as a couple, and they eventually got married. Before becoming a professional footballer, Schmeichel had to work a number of jobs to make ends meet. His first job came in the dyeing department of a textile factory, but his concerns with the factory's policy on safety eventually forced him to hand in his notice. He then spent 12 months as a cleaner at an old people's home, before taking up an office job with the World Wildlife Fund. He originally worked in the organization's shops, but 3 weeks after he joined, the store manager quit and Schmeichel was promoted to the position of sales manager. Soon after, Schmeichel was called upon to do his 4 weeks of compulsory military service. However, this coincided with Hvidovre's summer training camp in Portugal, which he was permitted to go on with the proviso that he completed his military service the following month. Nevertheless, the delicate organizational situation that arose between the WWF, the Danish Defense Department and Hvidovre prompted Schmeichel to give up working for the WWF. A job with his father-in-law's flooring firm came next, until he realized that his knees could not support his 15-stone frame for 8 hours a day, and he was offered a job with the advertising firm owned by Hvidovre's chairman, Niels Erik Madsen. This was to be his last job outside football, as he was offered a contract with Brøndby the following spring. Professional career: Brøndby, despite the 5th best defense in the league, conceding 40 goals in 30 games, Schmeichel and Hvidovre finished in 14th place and were relegated in 1985. After only a single season, the club bounced right back to the first division, but Schmeichel was lost by Hvidovre to Danish runners-up Brøndby before the 1987 season. Winning the Danish league in his first year, he joined a club which he helped turn into a success. He made his debut for the Danish national team in May 1987, under national manager Sepp Piontek, and was selected for the Euro '88 tournament, where he eventually became Denmark's starting goalkeeper. In all, Schmeichel and Brøndby won 4 championships in 5 seasons. The climax of his Brøndby career would come in the European 1991 UEFA Cup competition, which saw Schmeichel as an important part of the team that reached the semi-finals. The club was eliminated by AS Roma with a last-minute goal by Hvidovre. Following the tournament, Schmeichel was voted 10th in the World's Best Goalkeeper 1991 poll by the IFFHS, Manchester United. Following his showings on the international scene, Manchester United bought him in 1991 for £505,000, a price which was described in 2000 by Manchester United manager Alex Ferguson as the bargain of the century. It was mainly because at the time, Schmeichel was a relative unknown outside of Denmark, especially within the United squad members. Schmeichel played the bulk of his career for United, 8 years in total. With United, Schmeichel won 5 FA Premier League titles, 3 FA Cups, 1 League Cup, and the UEFA Champions League. Manchester United finished as runners-up in Schmeichel's first season, but it was on the international stage that Schmeichel enjoyed his biggest success that year. In the Danish national team under new national manager Richard Marler Nielsen, Schmeichel was Denmark's starting goalkeeper at the Euro '92 tournament which they won. He saved a penalty kick from Marco van Basten in the semi-final, and held a cross with one hand in the final. He made a string of important saves during the tournament, and was elected the world's best goalkeeper 1992. In the 1992 Euro '93 season, 22 clean sheets from Schmeichel helped United win the Premier League championship for the first time in 26 years. Schmeichel was once again named the world's best goalkeeper in 1993. In January 1994, Schmeichel fell out with Ferguson, as United had squandered a 3-0 lead to draw 3-3 with Liverpool. The two had a row where Schmeichel said the most horrible things, and he was subsequently sacked by Ferguson. A few days later, Schmeichel made an improvised apology to the other players. Unknown to him, Ferguson was eavesdropping on this, and he let Schmeichel stay at Manchester United. Schmeichel and United repeated the Premier League championship win at the end of the season. Despite being a goalkeeper, he would run into the attack on corner kicks if his team was behind. The sight of him going up for the corner was a great distraction to opposing defenders. He scored a goal in this fashion, for Man United, in a 1995 UEFA Cup match against Rotor Volgograd. He scored in the last minutes of the game, though United were eliminated from the tournament on the away goals rule. Schmeichel played for Denmark at Euro '96 hosted by England. The defending European champions went out in the preliminary group stage, despite delivering results equivalent to the Euro '92 tournament. Following a February 1997 match against Arsenal, Schmeichel was accused of racism by Arsenal striker Ian Wright. During the game, Schmeichel and Wright had a number of controversies, and at the end of the game, the two players confronted each other on their way off the pitch. After the game, news emerged of a police inquiry into a November 1996 match between the two clubs, where it was alleged that Schmeichel had made a racist remark. After months of politicizing by the FA and the PFA, who wanted a converted Schmeichel as their poster boy of the Kick Racism Out of Football campaign, no evidence was found and the case was dropped. Under new national manager Bo Johansson, Schmeichel was a part of the Danish squad at the 1998 FIFA World Cup. He was one of the leading members of the Danish campaign, which ended in a 3-2 quarter-final defeat to Brazil. Schmeichel ended his Manchester United career on the highest note, when Schmeichel and United won the Treble, the FA Premier League title, FA Cup and UEFA Champions League, in the same season. In that year's FA Cup semi-final against Arsenal, Schmeichel saved a penalty kick by Dennis Bergkamp in the last minutes of the game, to send the game into extra time. In the absence of the suspended Roy Keane, he captained United in the UEFA Champions League final in May 1999. German opponents Bayern Munich had a 1-0 lead until the dying minutes of the game, when United received a corner kick. Schmeichel ran into the attack attempting to cause confusion, and Teddy Sheringham scored the equalising goal. A few seconds later, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer scored the 2-1 winner for United to ensure that Schmeichel's United career ended on the highest possible note. In an unforgettable celebratory moment, Schmeichel was shown cartwheeling gleefully in his area after Solskjaer's winning goal. With his departure, Manchester United had trouble finding a replacement for him, going through several high-profile goalkeepers including Mark Bosnich, Massimo Taibi, Fabian Buffs, Tim Howard and Roy Carroll before finally buying Edwin van der Sar, who Sir Alex Ferguson considered the best goalkeeper to have played for the club since Schmeichel. Sporting camp, Schmeichel decided to leave English football at the end of the 1998 Euro 99 season, as the grueling 60-game season, which came with playing with a successful club, was threatening to undermine his high standards at the age of 36. Seeking a slower pace of football, he moved to Sporting Clube de Portugal, where he won the 1999 Euro 2000 Primeira Liga title in his first season with the club, putting an end to the team's 18 years without a championship. He scored his only goal for the Danish national team, a penalty kick against Belgium, in a June 2000 warm-up match for Euro 2000. He represented Denmark at Euro 2000, where the team was eliminated in the group stage. He announced his retirement from the national team in February 2001, and played his final match 2 months later, captaining the side in a 3-0 friendly win over Slovenia at Copenhagen's Parken Stadium. He was substituted in the 65th minute to a standing ovation, replaced by longtime backup Peter Kjaer. His second year with Sporting was remarkable in that it was the first time in 14 years, since his Hvidovre days, that Schmeichel's club had finished below second place in the league. Schmeichel stated his wish to activate a contract option of a further year at Sporting in January 2001, but eventually decided to leave the club when his contract expired in June 2001. Aston Villa, Schmeichel returned to England with Aston Villa in July 2001, signing a 1-year contract with the option to extend it by a further year. On October 20, 2001, Schmeichel became the first goalkeeper to score a Premier League goal, in a 3-2 defeat away to Everton. This feat has only been repeated 4 times, by Blackburn Rovers' Brad Friedel on February 21, 2004, also from a corner kick. By Tottenham Hotspur's Paul Robinson from a free kick on March 17, 2007. By Everton's Tim Howard on January 4, 2012. And by Stoke City's Asmir Begovia on November 2, 2013. Schmeichel left Aston Villa after 1 season after he fell behind Peter Enkerman in the club's pecking order under new manager Graham Taylor, who had replaced John Gregory in February 2002. Manchester City. Schmeichel played his last active year for Manchester City during the 2002 Euro 03 season. Schmeichel's record in the Manchester derby is exceptional, in that he was never on the losing side. During his 9 years with Manchester United, they were unbeaten against Manchester City, while in his single season with City, they won at Main Road and drew at Old Trafford. Retirement: in December 1999, Schmeichel became the owner of his childhood club Hvidovre, but withdrew from the club in June 2002. Schmeichel worked as a pundit for the BBC after retiring, being a regular analyst on Match of the Day until 2005. He then began hosting live UEFA Champions League matches on Danish television channel TV3+, with Preben Elkjær and Brian Laudrup the studio pundits. However, he still works occasionally as a pundit for the BBC. Schmeichel's son, Kasper, plays as goalkeeper for Leicester City. Kasper made his debut for the Danish national team against Macedonia in February 2013. His popularity in Britain is perhaps best measured by Ćsmæ Brown on the Manchester-based soap opera Coronation Street, naming his former dog Schmeichel. He also took part in Soccer Aid, and played for the Rest of the World team, who lost to a Euro 1 after he was substituted at half-time. Schmeichel was a contestant on the 2006 series of the BBC's popular Saturday night TV programme Strictly Come Dancing, but was voted out by the public on his 43rd birthday. He also appeared on The Weakest Link in the UK, but he was voted off as the weakest link in the first round. On August 31, 2007, an investor group including Schmeichel announced their intention to invest 250 million Danish kroner in the football club Brøndby BYIF and make him sports director. This was announced in a press conference in Danish at a hotel in Copenhagen. The offer fell through when Brøndby failed to accept the offer within the group's deadline. In February 2007, he became the host in a new quiz on TV3 named One Mod 100. In 2008, he became the host of the European version of the Discovery Channel program, Dirty Jobs. He has also appeared several times as a pundit on BBC's Match of the Day. Career statistics: Club 1 includes one UEFA Super Cup game. Also played 5 Charity Shield games. Also played 3 Superta Section Car Sendido de Oliveira games. International goals, honours, literature: Schmeichel, Peter, 1999. Schmeichel, The Autobiography. London, Virgin Publishing. ISBN A0-7535-0444-8. References. External links: Peter Schmeichel Career Stats at Soxerbase, Danish National Team Profile, Peter Schmeichel at the Internet Movie Database.